This video will be a UConn tournament preview video as well. We'll look at recent UConn news, which includes Aaliyah Edwards is leaving for the WNBA after the season. We'll take a look at her health as well and how she's adjusting to wearing the mask once again. We will also take a quick look at Amari DeBerry, who appears to be done for the season. And then we will preview the immediate future, which is Jackson State. And hopefully after that, we will crystal ball into the future and look at future opponents, which might be Syracuse or Arizona and potentially, hopefully, Ohio State, and then maybe USC if chalk goes chalk. Before we start, if you like the content, then please consider subscribing to the channel and give the video a like. All right, let's get into this. So, Aaliyah Edwards has finally ended speculation and revealed her plans that she plans to declare for the WNBA draft after the season. She released a statement on X, "Gotta savor every moment because this is my last jam at UConn. I'm all in, ready to bring the championship glory back to Stores with my squad by my side. Let's have one last dance." She goes on to say in the video she posted on her social media account, "In addition to one last dance, I will be officially declaring for the 2024 draft. I'm prepared, but more importantly, I'm ready for the next chapter." Now, obviously, this was pretty much expected, I think, from most people. I thought it was a giveaway once she signed her Adidas contract that it was definitely a case of her leaving, especially when Nika Mule was asked a question about Edwards or something about NIL sponsorship deals or something like that. And the UConn spokesman said, she can't answer that question because international player. And that's the heart of the matter with the international players. They just can't get NIL, so it's not worth their while. She's played 4 years at UConn. She's going to be a top 5 WNBA pick. It will be interesting to see who Chicago takes. Will it be Rickea Jackson, Aaliyah Edwards, or if Angel Reese declares, do they go for Angel Reese? I know what I think. I think it'll be Rickea Jackson 3, then Aaliyah Edwards 4, and then after that to be determined. In terms of Edwards' UConn career, I think you would say it was very good. She's been very, very solid, dependable. She's averaged 13.3 points, 7.3 rebounds, and has racked up 33 double-doubles during the course of her career at UConn. She was a third-team All-American her junior year, and this year she's been named second-team All-American. She's All-Big East first team. So all the accolades are there of a very solid and really good career. However, the thing that she's probably delivered upon the most and what has been most needed by UConn was health and dependability. So out of 137 games, she was able to play in 134, which has obviously been a big deal with all of UConn's health issues, and she was the one you could always count on. If you are a UConn fan, you shudder to think what would have happened to this season if she would have gone down with an injury. Their season would have been done. They would not have the hope that they have right now if obviously one of the big two, Beckers or Edwards, goes down. But especially in terms of how thin they are up front, she needed to be an Iron Woman, and she was this season. Now, last year, Edwards had a bit of a swoon when she went January to February. This year, she was laser focused and really seemed to focus in and pick up her game. Oriem has been heaping the praise on her about how well she has done. And then, unfortunately, she takes the elbow and breaks her nose. But the good news is she's had that before. I think Nico Mule was saying it was a good thing I hit her last year with my forearm to sort of get her ready, prepared to how to play with a broken nose. Obviously, Edwards has played in the mask before. She's been wearing it in practice again and practicing. Reports that she's comfortable and going well, so that should not be an issue moving forward. Now, the health news for Edwards is good, but for Amari DeBerry, it got announced at the end of the season that she would not be returning to practice. She missed the last 4 games due to concussion. And Auriemma has confirmed that she won't be practicing and she won't be available for the tournament. I don't know if she will play for UConn again. I don't know if she'll wind up going in the transfer portal or if she could be a medical redshirt, or do they try again and bring her back next year? Is she willing to come back? I'm not sure. So I think it'll be determined in time, but I would not be surprised if she has played her last game for UConn in the 23-24 season. Now, I'm not one of those that's going to take any shots at Amari DeBerry. It sounds like she's a lovely girl and a really nice person. Her teammates like her. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It just hasn't worked for her. She hasn't been able to develop like everybody hoped, including herself. And it's just one of those things. So I wouldn't save your nasty comments. They do nothing about, how Amari, or I've seen a few nasty comments, and there's no point to it. She's tried the best she can. It didn't work out. Bygones be bygones, in my opinion. Now, the implications of Edwards leaving in terms of getting one or having one roster spot open, well, I pretty much assumed that in the video when Nika Mule announced that she was leaving. And it's really, is Sarah Strong coming to UConn or not? And who will fill that roster spot? If it's not Sarah Strong, is it going to be Caitlin Chen or Emily Rodriguez? I mean, they just seem too... I just don't see Caitlin Chen or Rodriguez. Well, they've already offered the scholarship to Rodriguez, but I just think UConn needs somebody a big up front, in my opinion, but they'll figure it out. But enough about the future. Let's talk about the now. And the now is Jackson State, which is just 2 days away. They are a good team. So they're coached by Tamika Reed. She has been SWAC Coach of the Year 3 years in a row. I watched a bit of their game versus Alcorn State. They have three really standout players in my mind. So Maya Crump is a senior forward. She's 6'1", averaging 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 1.4 assists. And she can get to the basket. She can shoot all right. The other one is Angel Jackson. So she's their big. She is 6'6". She's averaging 9.9 points per game, just under 7 rebounds at 6.9. And yeah, they're solid and athletic. And then the other one is Adriana Avent. She's a 5'11" guard, and she likes to shoot three-pointers. She's averaging 12 points, 3 rebounds, and like 0.5 assists per game. Avent is taking 6.5 three-point attempts per game. She shoots 33% from the three-point line. When looking at their stats, the thing that sticks out to me is they're averaging 15 turnovers a game. And I saw that they were a little bit loose with the ball on some of their passes. I think that's where UConn will take advantage of them just with their guard play and put pressure on them. So obviously I expect UConn to win that game, and then they will face off between the winner of Syracuse and Arizona. Arizona, I'm telling you, I'm big on the Pac-12. Like, I'm going to do something probably tomorrow looking at the various conferences and who is winning. But so far, Pac-12 got their first win with the Arizona taking out who was at Auburn tonight, and it looked like they sort of controlled that game most of the way through. There were a few runs by Auburn, but it felt like Arizona had that game going. You would think UConn would win their 2 home games and go to the Elite Eight, but you never know, as Syracuse and Arizona both have point guards that could give UConn some trouble. Now, if you are a UConn optimist, you could be a little bit bullish and look at the ESPN analytics, which gives UConn the second best chance to win it all behind South Carolina. There's another one called ELO Chess, which predicted last year's Final Four. Got 3 out of the 4 teams right for both 2022 and 21, and they have the Huskies as the 3rd best team. So if you believe in Cyberdyne systems and these evil computers, then UConn's a certainty to get in. If you don't, well, I mean, Gina Auriemma's quote is a little bit cryptic, or should I say concerning. I would say this year we would have to get exceptionally lucky to go really deep in this tournament. And he is right. It doesn't mean things can't happen. And they got a good draw. That's one thing. They don't have UCLA in their region, which is good. I think they would match up okay against Southern Cal and have a good chance. And again, they had the rematch with Ohio State, but the lack of depth and having so many freshmen you're depending on is going to be a difficult road. Anyway, let's get the tournament on, see what happens, and then we'll just update from there. Thanks a lot for watching. Your comments, your feedback, your poison, always welcome. Good night.